If I were to sell at market, the net proceeds would be $864.51, making for a loss of $1395.49, or 61.7% across all 5 shoes. What's up, everyone? I'm here today with a ZadahKicks update that's meant to be sort of fun. And the reason that I'm making this update is because I've actually received confirmation notices from Chase that all of the roughly $25,000 of credit card chargebacks that I received for lack of delivery have basically finalized and are going to remain on my account. I hope that everyone out there, especially the retail buyers that are in a similar position, are realizing a similar result. I'd actually appreciate it if you could leave me a comment as to what is going on with you so that I have a sense. But as a result of getting these credits back, I realized that there was a little bit of an irony with the fact that for many of the shoes that I purchased through Zadeh, that I would have been better off not receiving them at all. The reality is we really were speculating on the future market for the shoes that we were buying, at least if you cared about value. Quite frankly, for all the shoes I purchased them in my size, and I purchased them because I like them, but that's not to say the value proposition didn't factor in. I certainly would not have bought nearly as many shoes as I did if I didn't think that there was value there. Regardless, I did end up purchasing a lot of bricks, and I've got the top 5 bricks that I purchased here. Let's go over them. But before we start, there is a point I want to make about these bricks that ties in with the greater Zadeh story, and that is the fact that some of the items he sold, or many of the items he sold, became bricks, really sort of legitimized his business to me in a sense, because he had suppliers, he would charge a price, and he would win some and he would lose some. And I just had a sense that with respect to the bricks, that was a situation where he was actually making more money than otherwise, and it helped balance his business out. So he could give away some of the hype stuff because he would make up the difference on the other side. In the end, he would win some, he would lose some, we would win some, we would lose some. But as long as the sneaker market collectively moves up and he continues to have his sources, we all collectively win in the end. The other point I want to make about this, and this is effectively what I was quoted in Matt Halfhill's Nice Kick article as saying, I think you could start to tell when Zadeh had financial issues based on what he was shipping out. There came a time where I was no longer getting the shoes that had value, that were worth more on the open market than what I had paid, and I started only receiving these bricks. Okay, all of that out of the way, let's get into the shoes. I have got my trusty spreadsheet here, and coming in at number 5 of the ZadahKicks top 5 bricks, we have the Nike SB Dunk Low Quartersnack Zebras. This is a shoe that was really personal in terms of the reason I wanted it. I have a Palace Skateboards Vortex jacket that has a similar print, and I had always wanted the zebra print version of that jacket, and I still plan to acquire that jacket at some point in time in white. I have one in pink and blue, or pink, purple, and blue. I've always wanted the white one, and if I ever get the white one, these shoes would match it absolutely perfectly. I still think that this is a pretty neat special edition dunk. I don't really care for the Quartersnacks embroidery at the back. I believe it's 25 for 25 years. But on the whole, this is a cool shoe. What I paid for it versus what it's worth is absolutely not cool. So, what I paid, $475. The last sale on StockX was $280. If I were to sell it at $280, I would net $245 for a loss of $230 or 48.4%. And keep in mind, this is only brick number 5, meaning they get worse from here. Let's go to number 4. Coming in at number 4, we have the Sacai Fragment LD Waffle. And this is actually a pretty cool shoe. But it's not as cool as I thought it was gonna be based on renderings that were shown when I first actually purchased this shoe. And that's actually part of the problem with purchasing through ZadahKicks pre-order early, is that you think it's one thing and then it could end up being something else. And oftentimes when it's something else, it's much worse than what you originally thought. Probably the best example of this for me was the shattered backboard 3.0s or 4.0s that ended up turning into the electro orange. It went from being what was supposed to be the most amazing colorway to one of the worst. But with respect to this shoe, which I actually think is still a pretty nice shoe, although I honestly would have preferred the text just wasn't there. I'm not really a big fan of that. I paid $480. The last sale on StockX was $260. The net proceeds if I were to sell at $260 is $227.50. Making for a loss of $252.5 or minus 52.6%. That's number 4. Let's go to number 3. Coming in at number 3, we have the Sacai Kaws Blazer Low in red. And again, this is a shoe that turned out so much worse than what I had thought it was gonna be when I bought it. I've got another review in a shoe off on my channel for the black version of this. And if you've seen that, you know I absolutely hate the way that they cut that foam to just look like that. I get the whole deconstructed look, but that is just awful. That is ridiculous. It's terrible, quite frankly. This shoe looks like a clown shoe. I'm actually, not all that mad at it. I mean, I like bright colors. I have a lot of jackets that could potentially go well with this. I love the Blazer High version of this shoe. And if they had done this colorway in this style of shoe, I would not have been mad at it at all. I would have really liked it. As it stands, I personally hate this shoe. Let's look at the numbers. I paid $360 for this shoe. The last sale on StockX was $118. If I sold at $118, the net proceeds would be $103.25, making for a loss of $256.75, or a whopping negative 71.3%. Terrible. All right, number 2, and you may be noticing a theme here because I'm noticing it. We have another Sacai shoe. And this one is the Undercover LD Waffle in bright Citron. And quite honestly, I'm not even mad at this. I actually think this is a gorgeous, very well executed shoe. I really like this, and someday these will go on feet. I just don't know exactly when. The materials are really nice. The combination of the leather swoosh with the just really natty suede, I think is a great contrast in textures. Premium leather up front. The hits of yellow are just gorgeous. This is a fantastic shoe. I really like this. I would be willing to buy this absolutely at the current resale prices. I know the LD waffles are not that popular anymore. They are kind of terrible to actually wear on feet because this ridge of foam that sticks out at the back just either gets super dirty or hits things. But beautiful shoe, highly recommend it. Numbers, on the other hand, not so good. So let's have a look. I paid $470 for this shoe. The last sale was $175. The net proceeds, if I were to sell at $175, are $153.13, making for a loss of $316.87, or negative 67.4%. Ouch. All right, and the grand finale. At number 1, similar theme, we have a Sacai LD Waffle, if you haven't guessed it. And in this case, it is the Clot in the Orange Blaze. And the funny thing about this shoe is I actually really liked it when I saw it, to the point that I purchased a second set when I realized just how cheap they had gotten. And the reason for that, which I will demonstrate here in my second pair, is that the front of this shoe is actually translucent, and therefore when I purchase socks that are matching, you're gonna be able to see the socks through the front of the shoe. And I think that that is really cool. From a materials perspective, the Undercover is much better executed. Colorway wise, I personally probably would have gone with the orange originally, but actually even now seeing them side to side, I think this one wins. Definitely in hand with materials, this one absolutely wins. It is what it is. Let's look at the numbers. I paid $475 for this shoe. The last sale was $155. That makes net proceeds $135.63 and a loss of $339.37 or 71.4%. Grand totals. Across everything, all these 5 shoes, I paid a total of $2,260. If I were to sell at market, the net proceeds would be $864.51, making for a loss of $1395.49 or 61.7% across all 5 shoes. Is there a lesson here? I don't know. I think the reality is, if I would have gotten all the shoes that I actually paid for, I would have come out so far ahead value-wise, because the heavy hitters that I bought, I had 4 Fragment Jordan 1 highs and 4 Fragment Jordan 1 lows, all purchased in the $1,200-ish range. Those shoes, the highs are worth $4,000, the lows $1,700-1,800. That's big time money that makes up for any bricks that you get by way of shoes like this. In the end, I never got those Fragment highs or Fragment lows, and as I said, I really only started receiving bricks, and that really just exacerbated the problem to the point that I would have been better off not purchasing at all, or in this case, getting my money back from Chase. That's all I've got. I hope this video was a little bit of fun and a little bit lighthearted for all of you who are going through the losses from this situation. Feel free to drop a comment, let me know what you think. Let me know if you've realized the same thing with respect to only bricks getting shipped. Let me know what your worst brick was. If you like this video, please hit the like button. It really helps. And if you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing. That's all I've got. I will see you at the next one.